Feeling that familiar knot of frustration when your Gemini deposit or withdrawal just doesn't go through? You've checked your bank, you've re-entered your details, and still, nothing. It's a common, infuriating experience, and if you're watching this, you're probably in the thick of it right now. We've all been there, staring at a pending transaction, or worse, a failed one, wondering what on earth went wrong and how to fix it. This isn't just about money, it's about trust, convenience, and the seamless movement of your funds in the world of crypto. Today, we're diving deep into the exasperating world of failed deposits and withdrawals on Gemini. This isn't just a basic walkthrough, we're going to explore the underlying reasons, the often overlooked details, and the actionable steps you can take to troubleshoot these issues effectively. Forget generic advice, we're going for real solutions that get your money where it needs to be, whether it's into your Gemini account for that perfect crypto trade or out of it to cover your real-world expenses. Let's face it, when you're dealing with digital assets, the stakes feel higher. Every failed transaction can feel like a setback, a missed opportunity, or a direct hit to your financial plans. So, let's peel back the layers and understand why these hiccups occur, and more importantly, how to prevent them and resolve them when they do. The anatomy of a failed transaction, why do they happen? Before we jump into the fixes, it's crucial to understand the why. Failed transactions aren't random acts of digital sabotage, they're usually a symptom of a specific underlying issue. Think of it like a detective story, we need to identify the culprit before we can bring them to justice. Broadly speaking, failed deposits and withdrawals on Gemini can stem from a few key areas: your bank, Gemini's internal systems, network congestion, or even something as simple as user error. Let's break down each of these. 1. Bank-related issues, the usual suspect. Your bank or financial institution is often the first place to look when a transaction fails. They act as a gatekeeper, and sometimes, those gates are locked tighter than you'd expect. Fraud prevention flags, banks are inherently cautious. Large transactions, especially those going to or coming from cryptocurrency exchanges, often trigger their automated fraud detection systems. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's designed to protect you, but it can halt your transaction dead in its tracks. Your bank might flag the transaction, put a temporary hold on your funds, or even outright block it without immediate notification. The fix: this is perhaps the most common reason. The solution is straightforward: contact your bank immediately. Inform them that you are initiating a transaction with Gemini and that it is legitimate. It's often best to do this before you even attempt a large transaction, especially if it's your first time sending or receiving a significant amount from Gemini. Have the transaction details ready: amount, date, and ideally the recipient's information, Gemini's name, not a specific crypto address. Sometimes, a quick phone call is all it takes to lift the hold. Insufficient funds: this might seem obvious, but it's a surprisingly common oversight. Double-check your bank balance before initiating any deposit. The fix: ensure you have enough cleared funds in your account. Remember that some banks have daily transfer limits, and if you're pushing against those, your transaction might be rejected even if you technically have the funds. Incorrect bank details: a single wrong digit in an account number or routing number can derail an entire transfer. The fix: meticulously review all bank details before confirming any deposit or withdrawal. If you're setting up a new linked bank account on Gemini, take extra time to verify every character. A good practice is to cross-reference with a physical bank statement or your online banking portal. Bank limits: as mentioned, banks often impose daily, weekly, or monthly limits on transfers. These limits can vary significantly between institutions and even between different account types within the same bank. The fix: check with your bank about their specific transfer limits for ACH, wire transfers, or whatever method you are using. If your desired transaction exceeds these limits, you'll need to break it into smaller amounts or use an alternative method. Account restrictions or freezes: less common, but still a possibility. If your bank account has any kind of restriction, hold, or freeze on it, any outgoing or incoming transactions will be affected. The fix: contact your bank directly to understand the nature of the restriction and what steps are needed to lift it. 2. Gemini-related issues on the exchange's side. While often the bank is the culprit, sometimes the issue lies within Gemini's systems or with your account settings on the platform. Account verification levels. Gemini, being a regulated exchange, has stringent Know Your Customer (KYC) and anti-money laundering (AML) policies. Your deposit and withdrawal limits are directly tied to your verification level. If you've hit your daily or weekly limit, your transaction will fail. The fix: log into your Gemini account and navigate to your profile or settings to check your current verification level and associated limits. If you need higher limits, you'll likely need to provide additional documentation, e.g., proof of address, income verification, to upgrade your account. Be patient, this process can take some time for review. Linked bank account issues. Gemini requires you to link and verify your bank account for fiat transactions. If your linked bank account becomes unlinked, or if there's an issue with the verification process, transactions will fail. The fix: go to the Funding Sources section in your Gemini account. Ensure your bank account is still linked and verified. If it's unlinked, you'll need to relink and re-verify it. Sometimes, an issue with the microdeposit verification process can cause problems. Double-check that you've correctly entered the microdeposit amounts sent by Gemini. Gemini system maintenance or outages. Like any complex digital platform, Gemini occasionally undergoes scheduled maintenance or experiences unforeseen outages. During these periods, certain functionalities, including deposits and withdrawals, might be temporarily unavailable or experience delays. The fix: before panicking, check Gemini's official status page or their social media channels, like X/Twitter, for any announcements regarding system issues or maintenance. If there's an ongoing outage, all you can do is wait for it to be resolved. Avoid repeatedly attempting the transaction during an outage, as this can sometimes exacerbate issues. Internal fraud flags on Gemini's end. Just as banks have fraud detection, so does Gemini. Unusual activity, large first-time transfers, or rapid successive transactions can sometimes trigger an internal review on Gemini's side. The fix: if you suspect this is the case, Gemini will usually send you an email requesting additional information or notifying you of a temporary hold. Respond promptly and provide any requested documentation. Transparency helps resolve these issues faster. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.